how long have Koreans been making paper like this?
1,300 years ago. Fine and thin, but very, very strong.
What function does Hanji, a type of handmade paper, perform in Korea? Handmade Korean paper is referred to as Hanji. This strong paper is traditionally made from dak, the bark of paper mulberry trees, and dak pol, the sap from the Ibeca plant. It's used to create a variety of things in addition to writing sheets. These include apparel, fans, lanterns, and door screens. The traditional Korean handmade paper is known as Hanji. It is manufactured from the dark inner bark of the Korean native mulberry tree and Hibiscus menonot, which aids in keeping the individual fibers suspended in the liquid. The traditional Weibao and Dokshim processes are used to produce traditional Hanji, which is made of laminated sheets. To condense fibers and reduce ink leaks, it focuses on submerging finished sheets in water and hammering them. Hanji paper has been used historically for a variety of purposes, but mostly for documenting the nation's history throughout the Three Kingdoms era, 57 BCE to 668 CE. Despite being made of paper, Hanji is incredibly durable, water-resistant, and adaptable. Hanji is also utilized to cover floors, walls, ceilings, windows, and doors in traditional Korean homes due to its durability and affordability. Nowadays, with the development of technology and globalization, Hanji quickly became obsolete as consumers shifted their preferences to China's less expensive and labor-intensive paper. To resuscitate the Hanji industry, though, which is regarded as a national heritage and treasure, the conversion of Hanji into intricate artworks that combine 2D and 3D is one of the most noteworthy. Hanji is also becoming more widely available on a global scale as people and artists.
It's very strong and also it's very stable.
The 3rd century origins of Korean Hanji paper are evident in its countless centuries of refining. Hanji uses the inner bark of the mulberry tree, like all kozo papers. But what makes it unique is the addition of hibiscus menonot. Other mulberry-based papers lack the strength and durability that menonot adds by helping to hold the pulp fibers together. Hanji paper has been used for a variety of purposes over the years due to its strength and longevity, including lining the walls, doors, and floors of straw-thatched home to help regulate humidity and temperature. Inner bark fiber of the paper mulberry. The process of removing this substance from the outer bark takes a long time. If any exterior bark fragments are left, they will leave a black mark on the completed sheet. Brucinicia kazunoki is its scientific name, and it is typically found in Eastern Asia. There are numerous ways to propagate it, including seeds, hard and soft wood cuttings, root cuttings, and cloning. When the roots of the hibiscus are steeped in water, a gluey, sticky solution is produced. The mulberry is boiled and briefly steamed after picking to help remove the bark. It is necessary to separate this bark, which is made up of the inner, lighter-colored bark and the outer, darker bark. The inner bark can either be dried and stored at this stage or further processed to create paper. In order to make the mulberry inner bark alkaline, it is boiled in boiling water with ashes. This aids in the lignin and other resins dissolution. It simply takes a few hours to prepare this. After being softened, the bark is rinsed and then hammered ferociously. The cooking softened fibers are separated by the forceful beating on a stone with heavy clubs. The combination is continued to be beat until ultimately the fibers separate and the mixture appears pasty. The long, thin fibers do not change. The beaten pulp is prepared and ready to be put in the vat. A gluey hibiscus root solution is in the dish in the back. This substance aids in maintaining the suspension of the mulberry fibers in the vat. This prevents the fibers from clumping together and allows for the creation of lovely, even layers in the frame. Because of this glue, Korean paper can be separated into thin sheets without the need for felt between them, as required by Western paper-making methods. How well and quickly the water drains from the frame depends on how much hibiscus goo is added. The hibiscus root slime and mulberry paste are added to a sizable wooden vat and vigorously stirred. They beat the pulp with sticks that were 4 feet long. This was done repeatedly while the paper was being made, as well as whenever new pulp was introduced. In order for the fibers to be picked up evenly onto the forming screen, it's crucial to first separate the fibers and then maintain their suspension. It was surprisingly wonderful to see this process. The moves were effortless, smooth, and powerful. It appeared to be simple. Above the pulp vat, many frames were suspended from a top beam. Each one has a thin, removable bamboo mat. Different sizes of frames could be used in place of one another, depending on the size of the paper being made. The mat served as an adaptable screen. The operator dips the frame into the pulp vat while holding it by two handles. The frame is slowly dipped to one side, then the other, as the water drains. The bamboo screen has a thin layer of pulp on it. The screen is delicately taken up. The paper is incredibly thin and barely more than a gooey screen covering. The following sheets are carefully stacked on top of the stack. The screen can be bent. The papermaker places the screen at the bottom of the pile and then moves the layer of just screened pulp by sort of rolling the screen across the pile. The entire pile is pressed once a thick enough pile has been finished for the day. A wooden lid is placed on top of the pile, and water is forced out by pressing down on a lever with a weight on the end. Overnight was spent pushing. Another magic trick: a slight flick was given to the nylon thread end by the craftsman, who then pulled it up and attached the end to a stick. The paper on the stick began to lift and curl as the thread was pulled. They then pulled the sheet back while slightly twirling the stick to capture it. A stick is used to support the paper while it's pushed against the stainless steel dryer, and a large, soft brush is used to smooth down the remaining sheet. 2 sheets of stainless steel were joined by welding to create the dryer, which was then heated with a gas heater. Since it wasn't particularly hot, touching it wouldn't cause any harm. It had a very smooth texture. Not always are dryers used. Paper makers may leave the sheet out to dry naturally on flat surfaces while they're at work. Although the procedure has been sped up and improved with modern technology, it still requires extraordinary talent and technique. The ancient Koreans thought it was crucial to pick a pleasant day with a beautiful sky when manufacturing Hanji, and to appease the spirits in order to hope for a favorable and easy process. The method of making the paper is intricate and deeply rooted in religious rites. The key factors influencing the Korean paper's current survival are its adaptability and vitality. The traditional proverb, "paper lasts 1,000 years and textiles last 500, was held in high regard by the Koreans, and we are aware of this. Over 1,000 old books and drawings on Hanji have been discovered. The Magajongwang, which dates back to 751, is the oldest printed work and the most well-known example. The Hanji is unique because of its extraordinary resilience. Korean paper cannot compete with mass-produced modern paper due to the difficulty of its production. However, limited amounts are still produced and primarily used for artistic endeavors, like calligraphy and dyeing, because it is still regarded as being of enormous value to Korean culture. That's all for today. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. Also, express your valuable thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, bye. Also, spend some time watching other videos on the channel.